Gear Challenge has received several of the Nitecore EA45S flashlights for test and review. We'll be doing some tests in progress with these at a couple of different locations with a couple of colleagues of mine. Now, the flashlight itself was received through regular channels, not directly from Nitecore, so we know that they are part of the usual process of receiving lights for end users. So these are nothing as special has been done to these. In other words, these are not some particularly selected lights. They were through just regular channels that anyone else would normally receive. Now, the EA45S flashlight is reported to go up to 1,000 lumens. That's the brightest setting. The throw on this is reported, at least according to the advertising, at 402 meters. The runtime is up to 416 hours, and that's probably on the ultra-low setting. And it is submersible to 2 meters. It's droppable, reportedly, according to the material here, at 1.5 meters, so it makes it relatively rugged. The flashlight itself is powered by AA batteries. It will take 4 AA batteries, and just personally, I'm a proponent of AA battery flashlights because of the almost universal availability of them. And of course, you can get a variety of types of batteries, everything from regular, just standard alkaline batteries all the way up to lithium-ion batteries. And of course, there's a variety of rechargeable batteries. I've been carrying this Nitecore single AA battery for battery-powered light for a number of years. This one was a replacement for my initial light that I purchased directly from Nitecore when they first started, and that initial light went missing with a little friend who I thought I'd lost it, but here somewhat recently we found that the light had been returned to me. So that was nice to get it back. I've been carrying this one just out of habit. Obviously a little rough for a variety of uses. It's been dropped a number of times. The rubber tail cap has come off. I've not been able to determine how to replace that rubber cap with the replacement that came with the battery, but I do digress a bit. In any event, my point being that I am personally, and I know there's a number of other individuals that are proponents of AA-powered flashlights. Now this, compared to the CR123 batteries or the 18650 batteries that are very popular now, obviously either rechargeable or not rechargeable. Those provide a lot of throw, but this particular light at 1,000 lumens reportedly will produce quite a bit of throw, and possibly be every bit as comparable to, say, a Streamlight Stinger. We'll be doing some comparison shots of that later. Now, the light itself comes in the packaging that you just saw. It comes with a manual, a user's manual. It also comes with a nylon holster with hook and loop fasteners, a belt loop here, hook and loop on the back as well for ease of putting on some gear that you may not want to have to remove. And then there's also a plastic D-ring, suspension D-ring here. The lanyard is, well, I don't know exactly how to describe it. It has a take-up tab for the lanyard for securing it, and of course, for an included piece of kit. Not bad at all. Now, the light itself, from what I understand, is die-cast aluminum, and the light body is die-cast aluminum. There are some cooling fins, or I believe these are cooling fins on either side near the emitter. The tail cap piece is a red color, appears to be aluminum as well, and it appears to be anodized red. It does not appear to be painted, but I could be wrong. The reflector is very deep. It appears to go back to about this point in the body of the light, and it's very deep and with a high degree of angle, so that should produce quite a bit of throw. It's also polished instead of orange peel, so it's not intended as an area light. The bezel appears to be unfinished brushed aluminum. Again, that's the appearance. There is no crenellation on this. Don't know if you'd really even need crenellation. And there are two rubber covered buttons, the power button here and the selector button here for power settings. The tail cap comes off. It has two ears or fins that help guide along the side of the body of the light. And again, this knurled end piece unscrews to release the end cap. There is a, I'm not sure if this is copper, but it is a yellow metal spring, and the additional, there's some electronics underneath there. It has silica gel, so obviously you'd want to remove that. The interior of the light, it's a little difficult to see, so let's see if we can illuminate this just a bit. And as you can see, the interior has a spring on the non-powered side, or the non-button side. So the button side is where the positive end of your batteries would go. And hopefully that is somewhat visible. Going to the batteries, in this case we'll be using Duracell Quantum batteries. I'll just go ahead and just check these are at full capacity, if that can be seen. And of course, place these into the battery receptacle. Again, they go positive first on the side where the controls are, and then negative first on the opposite side where you can see the spring down near the head of the flashlight. Now these guides do help, and there's a little bit of springiness to this. Tighten the knurl cap, or the knurl knob. Doesn't appear to be, there we go, it's taking now. And there's a rubber O-ring of sorts to assist with water resistance or entry, basically making it airtight. Now, so now we've got the batteries in place. The manual indicates that there are that it will take regular primary AA batteries, rechargeable AA batteries with the nominal voltage of both at 1.5 volts, and a primary AA lithium battery with the primary battery at 1.5 volts, the rechargeable AA battery at 1.2 volts, and the primary AA lithium battery at 1.5 volts. All of these are available and compatible with the primary AA battery, and the rechargeable AA battery being more recommended apparently than the lithium battery. On run times, the manual indicates that on the lowest setting, which is referred to as ultra low, that will be 1 lumen, and we should receive approximately 416 hours of runtime. On the low setting, which would be reported as 45 lumens, should run at 35 hours. At the mid or middle setting of 210 lumens, it should run at 7 hours, and on high at 430 lumens, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Now on the turbo setting, which is the highest setting of 1000 lumens, this flashlight is reported to run at about 45 minutes. There are some additional instructions. Obviously, I don't think there's a need to go into this. I understand that there's a particular type of perhaps rechargeable battery. I've heard that there's a rechargeable battery that is not recommended for this light, but I have not seen that in the manual at this time, so we'll add it at a later time. So now that we've got batteries in place, we'll go ahead and hit the on button, or the power button. That appears to be at a higher setting, so now we'll activate the settings button. That appears to have gone to the lowest setting, or probably the 1 lumen. We'll hit the selector switch again. It'll ramp up to low, ramp up to medium or mid, ramp up to high, and ramp up to what is reportedly at the turbo. Just for comparison here, obviously this isn't a dark setting, but we'll take the Streamlight Stinger, and on high, comparing that just here on the marble tabletop, appears to be relatively close. the power setting back into off. If I understand correctly, if the selector switch is hit double tapped, it will go into strobe. If we press and hold that or double tap it again, it goes off. So double tap into strobe, double tap off, double tap strobe. Actually, I think that we may have put this into sleep. Nope, we're back into strobe. And now here's another setting where if you press the power button and the selector switch at the same time and hold it for more than 2 seconds, we had a flash there, and now we are in what would be a sleep or a safe mode. In other words, pressing the power button does not bring the light on, and pressing the selector button does not bring it on. You need to press these buttons simultaneously, and then we had a flash, and now we're back into it being on. There is also, if you hold the power button down for more than 2 seconds, let go, there is supposed to be a set or a battery indicator. There we've got one small flash, 1, 2. Actually, I think we are in locator mode. So you may be able to see that blue LED underneath the button is flashing and is to be used as a locator in the event that you want to put the light down and go looking for it later. Now, if we press the selector button and hold it, if we double tap it, and actually pressing and holding goes straight to turbo. So we've pressed and held the button for more than 2 seconds and on the selector button, and it goes straight to turbo, and then we'll ramp back up through the cycles. There is supposed to be a setting for checking battery capacity, and quite frankly, I'm not finding it right now, so we will look for this just a bit later. The light itself appears to be very well made. It appears to be somewhat heavier than the appearance. Now, I was just reviewing the manual. With the light off, and if you press the selector switch, well, it went right up to its previous mode. Okay, now we found it now. So if you take the selector switch and just tap it, underneath the power button, it will blink. 3 times means a minimum of 50% battery remaining. 2 blinks will indicate less than 50%, and so on. There is also a feature to go from strobe to SOS, and also as a beacon light. And of course, I don't want to just keep running camera here just to try and seek that out. Again, the battery is or the flashlight is pre-designated for going straight to strobe, and going to the alternate flashing modes. We'll cover that a little bit later when we're doing a comparison test on these lights. So again, the only negative thing that I've noticed now, just handling the light, there does seem to be a slight rattle when, of the batteries when the light is tapped on its sides, regardless of the end or the side. It's just a slight rattle or a slight vibration, and obviously from the springs on the inside holding the batteries, and the batteries moving a bit. But I do like the red anodized cap. I normally don't like alternate colors like this or varying colors, but quite frankly, with the red knurled screw down piece for the cap, it sets it off, and it kind of makes it somewhat attractive. There is no feature for a clip. Obviously the lanyard holes are here on the end of the cap. There may be someone coming up with some type of an alternate clip piece to clip this, but it is slightly larger than you would want to have clipped. As a comparison in size to the Stinger, these are the lights here, side by side. So it's a bit shorter than the Stinger. It is about, at least on the wide part of the body, it's about the same width as the Stinger. And of course on the narrow part it's not. The cooling fins may assist with cooling the emitter down, or the head of the flashlight, but we'll check that when we do some run times. So hopefully we'll be getting some feedback from some of my colleagues from Gear Challenge and get their feedback as well. So thank you.